Good day, yogis. Welcome to Chair Yoga with Brooke Blankenship. Let's get started by sitting back in our seats, letting our feet come gently, heels underneath of the ankles or underneath the knees, and the feet just relaxed in a hip-width distance on the floor. Adjust your back so that you are supported by the seat behind you. And just take a moment to relax the shoulders. Allow everything to be heavy, even the eyelids. Taking a few moments to come into our space. Gently opening the eyes. And then walking your hands forward to the edges of your knees. Maybe just hanging your head here. Maybe allowing your elbows to come down to the knees. And just taking a moment to allow the upper body to be heavy. Breathing in through the back of the heart, the shoulders, and the neck. Releasing any tension in the jaw. And then shaking the head back and forth. Just finding a little bit of movement in the neck. Feeling free to stop and explore anywhere that feels tight. Breathing into any sensations that you have or find. And then shaking the head, yes, a few times. Bringing the chin to the chest. And then slowly, slowly, slowly raising back up. Allowing the head to bring the last thing to come up. And let's just take a couple of deep breaths together. Now that we are fully upright, allowing our equilibrium to readjust there. So taking a big breath in through the nose. And then opening the mouth, letting it come out. Again, big breath in, fill all the way up with air. Let it come out. This time I want you to put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Big breath in. Feel it fill and then let it come out. Great job, yogis. Bringing your hands down by your sides, lifting the hands all the way up, and then folding forward over the legs into a forward fold. Halfway lift, flatten your back. So maybe the hands come up to the knees, maybe they stay on the shins, but we've got a nice flat spine, and your gaze is down just in front of your toes, elongating through that head. Now we're gonna fold down again and let everything go. And then we're gonna come all the way back up, rising up strong. And then gathering our hands together at the heart. We're gonna go through that again, nice and slow. Hands down by the side, push the feet into the ground, mountain pose. Big breath in as we reach the arms up. Hands come together to touch. And now we exhale as we dive forward, chest first, allowing the arms and the head to be the last thing to come down. Big breath in as we halfway lift, flatten the back. Exhale, fold again. Big breath in as we flatten the back. Exhale, fold again. Last time, big breath in, flatten. Exhale, fold. And then rise back up. Gather the hands at the heart. Press those thumb knuckles into your beating heart. Taking a moment to give yourself some grace and some gratitude for making this time on your mat and in your chair today. A very advanced pose here, Smileasana. Turning the corners of the mouth up. Just the simple act of smiling makes us happier. Turning those corners up at the edges of our mouth sends happy signals to our brains. So even if we're not feeling so happy, a smile can trick our brain into being just a little bit happier. And that's good news, isn't it? Opening the eyes back up. Excellent job. We're going to scoot forward on our chairs a little bit now and start working those legs. So I want you to lift the left leg up to the sky. My feet are probably really dirty. Sorry about that. And then press the heel to the screen. Press your heel towards me. Really feel that quadricep firing up. Set it back down. Let's do the other side. Right side up. Press through that heel. Flex those toes toward the face. Feel that leg firing up. Set it back down. Great job. Let's do it again. Lifting up, pressing through the heel. Feeling that quadricep turning on. Lowering back down. Last time. Lifting up, pressing through the heel. Excellent. And then lowering back down. This time I want you to lift that left knee up to your heart, up to your chest, okay? And grab the shin with both hands. And I want you to pull it as close as you can to the chest. And we're just gonna breathe into that hip stretch. So stretching through the front of the hip. flexing those toes toward the face like they're standing on a block underneath of you. Great job, yogis. We're going to keep that knee lifted and we're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee. Sit up nice and straight. Oh my goodness, if this feels good for you, staying right here, breathing into that left hip stretch. If you need a little bit more, maybe leaning over that folded leg. Wherever you are, nice deep breathing. Big breaths in and out through the nose. Imagining that all of that goodness in your breath is swirling into that hip, creating a little bit more room for you to grow, expand, strengthen, flex, become stronger. Coming back up through center, we're gonna uncross that leg, setting it down, rubbing out the hip a little bit, just giving it a little massage with the heel of your hand. And then we're gonna come into the other side. So bringing that right knee up towards the chest, grabbing hold of the shin with both of your hands, sitting up nice and tall, and then pulling that knee in towards the chest. Breathing into that stretch through the front of the hip. All right, we are gonna take that ankle, cross it over our left knee, sitting up nice and tall to start with. And then if you need a little bit more, allowing the upper body to float over that folded leg. Breathing into the right hip. Rising back up, uncrossing that leg, and then taking the heel of the hand and rubbing out that hip. Ooh, yeah. All right, yogis. So before we stand up, just stretching through the tops of our feet, the front of our ankles, and our toes, being very gentle with yourself. You can do this one at a time. I'm gonna move my right foot out for support, and then I'm gonna curl my left toes underneath of my chair. I've bent my leg a little bit in underneath of my chair so that I can just apply a little bit of pressure by pressing the top of my foot into the mat. So feeling that stretch all the way through the front of the foot and up the shin. Breathing into it. And then releasing it, rolling the foot out, both directions. Excellent job. Other side. So we're gonna take those toes and I'm gonna bend my toes underneath. Oop, hello, book. Bend my toes underneath of my seat, okay? So I'm pressing those tucked toes gently into the ground, and I can feel that stretch happening all through the front of my leg, even up into the lower parts of my knee. So being gentle with yourself and sending your breath there. And then releasing, rolling that foot out, both directions. Excellent job, yogis. We are going to stand up now to the left sides of our mat. So coming to the left side of your mat, we're going to pull that left knee up into the chest just as we did before. You won't be able to get it up as high this time because we're standing and not sitting. Okay, so our flexibility has changed just in that. But I do want you to see if you can grab a hold of the front of the knee, okay? You can even take hold of the entire kneecap, just like this, okay? If all else fails, just grab underneath. All ways are great. I'm holding onto the chair for stability with my right hand, and I've got my other hand, my left hand, on my knee somehow, supporting my knee. So we're gonna pull that knee up to the chest as much as we can, keeping that foot flexed again like it's on the floor. This time we're gonna move it out to the left, okay? So I want you to take a big breath in as you move it out to the side, and then back in. Out, and in. Out, and in. Out and in. Last time, out and in. Whoa, great job, yogis. Shake it out. I'm gonna give my hips both a little love because that was hard work on both of them. Let's move to the other side, shall we? So over on our right side now, I'm gonna ground down through that right foot using my, or ground down from the left foot, excuse me, using my left hand to help me stabilize on the chair. Then I'm gonna grab hold of my right knee, either grabbing the bottom of the top of the shin, the bottom of the knee, grabbing hold here, or maybe even grabbing underneath of the knee, okay? So finding what feels best in your body and sticking with that. All right, so here we go. We're going to move our knee out to the side. We're gonna pull it into the chest first, keeping it in towards the chest as much as we can. Big breath in, and release. In, release. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Excellent job, yogis. Dance it out. Great job. All right. So we're going to come over our chair now, and we're going to straddle fold over the chair. So I want you to take your toes and heel toe them out, okay? So that they are evenly distanced away from the chair, okay? So we're spreading our feet as wide as we want to, as wide as we feel comfortable. And then we're gonna hinge from those hips, hinge from the hips, and we're either gonna grab for the back of the chair, or we're gonna bring our hands down to the base of the chair, wherever we are, we're gonna put a little bit of a micro bend into those knees, and then we're going to allow the upper body to be heavy. So maybe that means we can come down to our elbows. Maybe we stay right where we are, breathing into the stretch. Slowly rising back up. Excellent job. So we're going to come to a straddle twist now, okay? So placing the hand either on the back of the chair or down at the base of the chair, I'm gonna take my right hand up to the sky. Excellent job. So keeping that hand up towards the sky, opening up the chest and the collarbones towards the ceiling, feeling that twist happening through the spine and the abdomen. Staying here or bringing those fingertips behind you and really pulling that shoulder open towards the sky. Unwinding, coming back through center and to the other side. So we're going to place that hand down, lift the left arm up to the sky, looking up at those fingertips, taking a few breaths here. And then bringing those fingertips maybe behind you to the lower back and really opening up that shoulder towards the sky. Untwisting, walking the hands back up, heel toeing those feet back together. We're going to come to downward facing dog now using our chair. So I'm going to show you two ways to use the chair here. The first way is for you to grab the chair sideways, and you're going to walk your feet back towards the edges of your mat, okay, or I guess the front of your mat it would be. And then we're going to send the hips back, okay? So as we send the hips back, we can let the head be heavy. And we feel a really, really nice stretch through the back of the legs. We're also feeling a nice stretch through the shoulders. The more we can straighten through the arms and the chest, the more we can stretch through those shoulders as well. So staying there, or you can also have the option of bringing your hands here to the upside of the chair. Slowly walking your feet back towards the chair and using the chair to support you to come back up to standing. Excellent job, yogis. So we're going to move into our warrior series, and coming back to the left side of your chair, taking that left foot, and we're gonna inch that left foot out. So heel toe it just like we did before. We're gonna inch it all the way out. We're gonna use our right hand for support from the chair. We're using the chair, okay? And then our left knee is going to bend and come forward, okay? So we're bending through that front knee, making sure that our knee and our heel are in one line, adjusting your feet as necessary to make sure that you've really got a good grip on your chair, okay? Using that chair for support and stability. And then once you've got a good distance between your legs and you're feeling really strong and powerful, you're feeling that energy radiating up through the legs, I want you to take your opposite arm, left arm comes up to the sky, and then maybe even your gaze goes up towards the ceiling. Great job, yogis. We're gonna bring that arm now down to our thigh, and we're going to straighten that front leg, coming forward into triangle pose. Rising back up. We're going to turn our feet a little bit so that we can come now into warrior two. Okay, so still using our chair for support. Our left arm is going to come out in front of us. Gaze goes out over those the middle finger. Reversing the warrior. Straightening that front leg. And then lowering the hand back down. We're going to heel toe those feet back together and move over to the other side. So starting with our warrior one, we're going to adjust our feet so that we have a good the center of our body should really kind of be in line with the back of the chair, okay? That allows you to keep your arm out for support. We're going to bend that front knee, remember, so your torso is going to move forward a little bit. So make any adjustments that you need to come into our warrior one, where the body is facing towards me, towards the screen. Great job. We're going to straighten through that front leg and we're going to come into triangle pose. So taking your right hand down to the thigh and then maybe looking up towards the ceiling. Breathing into the stretch happening through the back of the right leg. And then back up through center. So we're going to make the adjustments that we need to come into warrior two now. So warrior two, I like my legs a little bit wider than in warrior one. And they're a little less spread apart, meaning in warrior one, I have them on railroad tracks. In warrior two, I have them more on a balance beam, okay? So grabbing hold of the chair again, I kind of want that chair in line with my torso. And we're gonna reach our arm forward into warrior two. Nice generous bend in that front knee. Taking the gaze out over the middle finger. And then reversing our warrior first. So keeping that bend in the front knee, reversing the warrior. And for the remaining few breaths, we're gonna straighten that front leg, your right leg. So now that deep stretch happening through the hip here, into the torso. And releasing. Heel toeing those feet back together again. And then stepping all the way to the back of your mat. So we're gonna forward fold over our chair here. So I'm gonna bring my feet out a little bit wider than hip width distance, probably about the width of the chair, okay? If your hips do not hit above this chair line, then you will have to just lean forward over the chair. But if your hip bones are above this chair line, I want you to use the chair to walk yourself down and find the forward fold that feels best in your body. Maybe you bring your hands down to the chair. Maybe you keep them on the edges of the chair. Wherever you are, allowing the upper body to be heavy. Forward folds are great for our blood pressure. They calm the nervous system. And then slowly walking your hands back up. Allowing your head to be the last thing that comes up. Great job, yogi friends. Coming back to your seat. We will be seated for the remainder of class now. So, excuse me. Bringing those feet out in front of you, we had stretched the through the tops of the feet before. I want to stretch through the bottoms of the feet now. So taking your bottom and scooting it forward on the chair, I'm going to move my right foot out in front of me so that I can use that for support. And then I'm going to curl my toes, press my toes into the floor, and then use that to stretch through the bottom of my feet. So being gentle with yourself. You can get your pinky involved a little bit more by reaching down there and lifting that pinky out. Ooh, that bad boy. Tell ya. Breathing into the stretch. Releasing, tapping out the feet. Great job. Rolling out the ankle both ways and then setting it back down to the other side. So I'm going to again move my foot slowly behind me, a little bit behind me, so that I can really curl and press into those toes. Again, you can use your finger, whoop, pull that pinky toe out, a little baby toe, ooh, and really fire up through the bottom of the foot. Wherever you are, breathing into it, using your chair if you need to. And then releasing, knocking everything back out again. Ooh, good job, yogis. Rolling the ankle out, rolling it back. All right, so we're gonna stretch those wrists a little bit, bringing your right or your left hand out into a stop sign. You're gonna take your right fingers and wrap them around your fingers, pulling your fingers gently towards your face. The more that you straighten out through that arm, the more you're going to feel the stretch in the underbelly of the forearm and the wrist. Breathing into it. And then releasing, rolling the wrist out. We're gonna stretch those fingertips down now. Again, straightening out through so you can get that stretch through the back of the forearm. We're pulling those fingertips gently towards the heart, breathing in through the stretch through the back of the wrist. Releasing, rolling the wrist out, other side. Bringing that right hand up, stop sign, grabbing the fingertips, pulling those fingertips back towards the face. Releasing, rolling it out. Again, putting the fingertips down this time and pulling those fingertips towards the heart. Yeah, great job, yogis. And then putting the fingertips together and taking the wrists on a little roller coaster ride. Great job. Shaking out the arms. And we're going to come into one last set of stretches, and that is stretching our hips. So we're going to bring that left knee up towards the chest once more, cross it over the right ankle or the right knee, okay? And then we're going to either stay here, sit up nice and tall, or lean forward, gently breathing into that left hip. Crossing that leg all the way over, we're going to come for a twist. So taking your right hand to the outside of the knees grabbing hold of that chair with the left hand, taking a big breath in, getting really tall and long in the spine, and then turning and looking towards the left back side of the room. Unwinding, coming back through center and untwisting. Coming to the other side. So lifting that right knee up towards the chest and then pulling the ankle over the knee. Grabbing the back of the chair or just sitting up nice and tall and breathing into our right hip. Rising back up, crossing all the way over, bringing that left hand to the outside of the knees, grabbing hold of the chair with the right. Big breath in, and then twisting, looking towards the back right side of the room. Unwinding, coming back through center, untwisting, finding any last movements that you need to before resting your back against the back of the chair, rolling back the shoulders and relaxing them down, allowing the body to be heavy, relaxed, and comfortable in your chair. Closing down the eyelids, taking a moment to turn in, taking a moment to feel the life of the body, the heart beating through the body right now. And also just taking a moment to give yourself some gratitude for making this time for yourself today. Feeling overwhelmed is a trap, a tricky one at that. When we're overwhelmed, we see all that needs to be done and say, that's too much. I can't do it. So instead, I shall do nothing. Feeling overwhelmed occurs when we say, I am already too busy, so I can't do that. And now all is pressing in on me and I can't do anything. And the acts that are ours to do keep piling up and pulling on us. And we keep resisting, and stress and pressure build up. Feeling overwhelmed leads to feeling stuck, and both are an illusion. How simple those things that overwhelm us actually become when we realize the feeling and return to the rhythm of our lives. When we say, yes, I need to make that phone call, do that task, how simple that task becomes, how simple life becomes. What's bothering you that needs to be done? What's pulling on you? What's causing you to feel overwhelmed and maybe stuck too? Make a list. Put your list aside and begin taking one simple action. Then watch as life unfolds. One act at a time, one thing at a time. All that needs to be done will get done. The stress will disappear and you'll feel back on track. You'll be given the ability, power, and guidance to do all that is on your path to do. Begin simply, quietly, by acknowledging feeling overwhelmed. Denying the pull of life and its tasks doesn't remove stress. It compounds it. Surrender to the simple truths, even the simple truth of what we're really feeling will always set us free. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes, slowly bringing movement back into the body. Taking a big breath in through the nose and stretching the arms overhead. Gently opening the eyes, bringing our hands together, hands to heart center. It is an honor to share this practice with you. Go forward with light and love in your heart. Namaste.